welcome back. Thank you for clicking on the video, and we're mighty glad that you came to visit us here at the Shire. So, this is me getting to work, and it's, I don't know, 3:30, 3:45 in the afternoon. Yes, that's me starting work. You'll be thinking, Piper Doug, your cheese has come completely off your cracker. What on earth are you starting this late in the day for? Well, starting this late in the day because nothing was actually needing done with the animals right away. And I had an appointment in Brandon at the city. So, now we're home. And I'm going to load up a couple of premium hay, and then we'll pick up one of the intermediate hays on the way out to the big field, and we'll feed the big crew, and then we'll get back to getting the corrals ready for penning, because tomorrow is Saturday. I think we've organized it Sunday. Liam's coming out, and we are going to move the Golden Girls into their winter home on Sunday. So we'll get that bedded, and we'll get the panels and the gates all moved for the big move. And so yeah, we'll go from there. Get on with it. You honestly can't write this. You cannot write this. This is the second time this has happened. Look at this. Where are they going? Because in their rush to go through the gate, they close the gate on themselves. Some of those tubby buggers get the gate along their side, and then they shut it. And now the rest of them are panicking. And now I gotta cross the stream without biffing her. And yes, it's slippy, and these boots are not the best. Oh gosh. Come on, mamas! I don't want the calves to get the notion to jump through that fence. Dummies! Honest to gosh. Anyway, get this gate open. Okay. Well, I only had to walk about 1/4 mile. Oh my gosh. Half a dozen cows and about, well, 25 calves. And the calves didn't take much cajoling, and most of the cows didn't, except one cow. She stood there and bellowed, and then finally, after me calling to her for ages, waddled her way down to the gate. My gosh. So, I almost thought about not saying anything about this, but you know what? Considering November is mental health, especially in Men Awareness Month, I'm actually going to talk about this. And anybody who finds this awkward, you might want to skip forward. So today, I was at a counsellor. There you go. Piper Doug outed himself. Piper Doug went to seek counselling. Now, Piper Doug is not about to punch his ticket. Piper Doug is not, holding on by the fingertips. That's not what this was about. So, because I lost my mum, we lost my mum this year. I know I haven't dealt with the grief fully yet, and I'm not meaning to trigger people. Because I haven't been back to Scotland, we will be back next year, and we will have sort of closure, I would hope, at that point. So I do have grief to work through, so I knew that's to deal with. And you all know I talk openly about depression and anxiety, and believe you me, every one of you watching this, if you are something to do with agriculture at least, never mind everything else, you all have your own journey, whether it's depression, whether it's just sometimes you're sad, whether it's just sometimes you get stressed, maybe you have to have a stiff whiskey at the end of the day, whatever it takes. The biggest issue we all face, because this is not an easy life, you all know that. Farming is one of the most stressful jobs in the world. Not to be too graphic, but somebody not too many miles away from me took his own life this year. Maybe I never spoke about that previously on the videos, but yeah, obviously thought nobody cared, world would be better without him, took his own life, and if it wasn't for a hired man, found him. And yeah, and the irony was, and I'm sorry if this is really blunt to everybody, he felt so alone, and yet at his funeral the parking lot was full. And yeah, I'm sorry that seems a little bit bitter, but that's how it is. So, everybody, there is no shame in getting counseling. Counseling should be as easy and as openly talked about as going to the dentist. Ironic, here's me talking about that. And getting your eyes checked. And at my age, getting your colon checked. Isn't that right, Mrs. Pineapple? So, I'm actually hoping, at this point, I'm welcoming a new viewer to my channel. His name is Roddy. Roddy, I don't know if it's Batson or Bateson. He is who I was talking to today. We had a great conversation. Roddy is a boxer. He is 68 years old. Spry for 68, I'll give him that. And we had a great conversation. And that's all it is. For those folk think you're gonna get into the quackery, it's just a conversation, folks. Sometimes it just like says a couple of words and stuff just makes sense. That's all it is. So, yeah, so there you go. Piper Doug ouched himself. Went to seek counseling because it's been a hard year. It has. You all know that. It's been a tough year. Between the storms, between the loss, between just what a normal year puts farmers through. So, I advise any of you all out there that have even thought about it, just do it. We spend a hell of a lot more money on more dumb crap. And let's face it, you can't spend if you're not here. And I said, and that's what I said to Mrs. Piper Duck, and that's what I said to my kids. I want to be the best me for them going forward. And if that takes me going once every couple of weeks to go and talk to somebody and just getting another set of eyes on where we're at, albeit. So, like I said, I am not ashamed of it. I will not take it back. And I will talk openly about it. At some point, I will get more in depth into what's been going on over the last few weeks. But right now, it's all you really need to know, because that's really what's important. Piper Dog's not going anywhere. The channel's not going anywhere. And I'm hoping maybe going forward the content might get a little bit more back on track. We'll put it that way. So, I'm gonna head back to the yard and we'll bring you back because we're gonna go do some bedding and some setting up and getting ready for Sunday. So, hopefully that didn't weird too many people out. If it did, oh well. So yeah, I had to feed them one more time in here because they were out of food, and I got a bed and set up bale rings in their pen to get ready to move them. There's no real reason to push them, but it's kind of like I'd like them moved, then get the old girls into that pen. You see it's bedded now, because this wall needs repaired. It's one of the walls that I'm going to get Jeremy to do, because for the most part it's good, but you can see where the storm backed off a lot of the nails here. It came apart. As you can see, there was screw bolts and big R-docks. So we've had tear here, tear there. This post actually started coming loose, as you can see. So the reason I'm bringing you over here is, I don't think you can see it. So you all know that I've done work with this. So I put the plug-in out and up here, and there's a switch there with a offshoot for power to go to a light. So I'm gonna put a picture in here. So this is the outfit that Mrs. Piper Doug got in contact with through her position with the municipality. One of the female Sparkies, I don't know why I need to say female, one of the Sparkies, she is on one of the boards with Mrs. Piper Doug through municipality council. I can't for the life of me remember. It's one of those like tourism and industry, or it's one of those big words. Anyway, so to lessen the load on old Piper of the Dougs, because one of the banes of my existence is water troughs, and having 5 of them to babysit, and I've got plenty of work to be doing, i.e. shelters and getting things ready for processing and yada yada yada. Anyway, so figured let's get electricians in to test the water troughs. I have spoke about this before, so I'm kind of going back over old plowed ground. And the one thing that they did find that Piper Doug would not have found in his normal end of the year, pardon me, roundup of the water troughs, in here. Now I knew there was water damage. That's henceforth why I put the snorkel on this. And yes, I do have the new tank top to go on here. The reason I put the new snorkel on, because it would fill the box up. Well, the box has been filled up with water a few times, and now the electrical panel inside there had got corroded. I did not know, however, inside had got so bad that the wires were literally just hanging on by threads. They tested them, said you might have got one, they might have fired up and heated up the water, and it would have crapped out as soon as it got into winter, and then we'd been in a land of hurt. So they went and got a new panel for in there, fixed it all, cleaned it all up, it's good to go. And as far as I know, that's them all done. So number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and number 5. There was an element to be replaced in there. They have done that because my back cannot take laying on the ground working on those Ritchie water troughs. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of those. I'm more a fan of these, to tell you the truth. So Jeremy, that's borrowing the shit, pardon my French, poop spreading stuff. My gosh, look at me being all potty mouth. That's borrowing all the poop spreading stuff. When he comes back to do the building work, he's also agreed to do the service work on the plumbing. So he's going to put the new float top on, and he's going to do all that stuff in trade for using the stuff. And I know Jeremy, and I know Jeremy's mum and dad, and our stuff is more than safe with them. They are good folk. So yeah, so if I hadn't put the picture in already, I'll put it in at the end of the video, or I'll put it down in the description. If you are in the Westman area, in and around Verdon, and the reason I am proposing these folk, good folk, they also farm. Yep. So Jeremy, builder, he's a farmer. These electricians, farmers. So the more we can help each other, the better. So I am going to get on. I got to go and put the pressure washer and hoses in the workshop tonight because it's supposed to be -6. Even though we're supposed to be back to -13, 14 this weekend. So I'm hoping to get the rest of the pressure washing done. Hi teens. Hey sweet girl. Hey bugs. So yeah, they are happy. See, she is, I know you can't really see that. That cow stand right there is actually not meant to be in here. She got put in here because she had twins, and Mrs. Piper Doug's idea was if the mum has twins, we keep her close to the yard, she can feed them better and look after herself without getting worn down. And we've had trouble with cows getting worn down with twins out in the pasture. So it worked out really well because she has done super well. And both twins, I think that's one of them there, are doing great. So go back to getting things off the list. Feeding. Well, last night was first real hard frost. Yeah, we've had -1s and 2s and 3s. We had -6, with a little bit of wind chill. So, turned on the water troughs in the yard. The water trough in the Golden Girls paddock did freeze over, but it was like maybe 1/4 inch of ice. Calves couldn't break it, so I went out and broke it this morning. The hose that runs the trough froze up a little bit, but it freed itself up as soon as the temperature got up. It's supposed to be 10 today, which is nice. So, and I know I've had this comment, Piper Doug, why are you feeding your cows? They've got lots to eat out here. That is true. Piper Doug's a little neurotic. Yes, Piper Doug spoils these girls. But because we do not feed grain to the calves, we don't have creek feeders out yet. We were always looking at growing a bit of our own grain, or even maybe getting some processed stuff from the local elevator because it's not far away. And then that way, this time of year, we could be bulking the calves up on grain to take the stress off the girls. But what we do have is a good supply of very good quality hay. And so this goes back to the conversation we've all had lots of times before. I play a bit of a balance game because we do have 3 different blends of hay that we grow. We have pure alfalfa, we have pure grass, and then we have the intermediate, and this goes by whatever cut we're on, how much grass is in the 60-40 blends. So first cuts on the south field is usually a 60-70% grass to alfalfa blend. Second cut, the alfalfa always comes back strong, so it's a far more nutrient rich. What the heck is she doing? Oh, she's digging her head in the ground. Okay. It's a far more nutrient rich alfalfa hay. So that's why we do alternate. This is the intermediate low grade second cut, which is just more alfalfa, but this is the alfalfa that got the rain on it. I do have some second cut premium. You can see the stuff that we put out yesterday in the previous clip here. They did a pretty good job at cleaning it up. We're not quite at the time of year where they're going to scour the ground like what we do later on around Christmas time up in the paddocks. You can see a fair bit left, but calves are like that. Calves will leave more on the ground. So, I'm hoping I can get them all to come through in good order this time, because yesterday, chasing them, yeah, that was a bit of a circus. So I just want to lay eyes on everybody, make sure everybody's good coming through, because I could hear a couple of calves calling this morning, but that's usually just breakfast time, meal times. But if you'll all notice this, next to springtime, this is the most water I've seen running in this creek or creek as I've ever seen. This is bizarre. So I don't know, I think the fall springs have opened up to the north. When we're hauling calves up to Cadillacs later on, I'll remember to stop and show you all where the springs are, because they're most of the northern water runs all come through our section. We are a bit of a bottleneck for a lot of the water for this area, so yeah. Ironic considering my wife is the deputy reeve of the municipality, and there's a lot of people to the north that like to drain without permission and permits, because when you get permission and permits, you also get help from the conservation district on the drainage that you're doing, and a lot of people's going to get mad about this, but it lets you know where your water's going, and then if it's going to get there, or you're just draining for no point whatsoever. Isn't that right, Raven? Ghosty. Mm-hmm. Doctor. There's all the girls. What's this? Blackbird. What are you yodeling at? And there's my little gunner. Babies. So, they all seem to be coming. I think I'll set them up here. See, this is lighter land and this is going to get ripped up eventually. I'm hoping very soon. This will be part of when we plow this. I'm hoping to maybe plow this because we've got to put a fence. Because this is actually field. I know it's in the ravine, but that's where the quarter section fence is, and this is actually fieldable ground. So we're actually going to rotate it in. Mark lost her tags. My little star. She's a wee cutie pie. This is her 4th season. She's just a little one, but very, very nice animal. Okay, are you Mark or you Mark? We've got a few that lost their tags. This is going to be complicated. Anyway, so yeah, I like to put the hay out here, and then that way it helps with the biomass on the ground because this is actually lighter land up here. So we'll put the hay out and head out. Yes, girls, I'm getting to get. Okay, let's get going. So here's a good test. So this early in the season, they are actually cleaning up quite good. That makes me happy. Like I said, it's not wasted food because they will come back to this, especially when the calves go off, because we will let the cows back out here. But usually by that point, and that's going to happen in the next week or two, they're going to start having access to a heated water source, as well as the with the running creek that will not freeze over. It's got to be real cold for a running creek to freeze over. For those who are not prairie savvy, you literally got to stay below like -5 for running water to start freezing over. Even then, the cows will still break it at the edge and get drink. So, sorry, forgetting to bring you back. So they do kind of follow me because they always think there's something better coming out of the machine where you're at. And yes, I'm carrying a third bale in case I need it, but I probably won't. I thought I might need a third bale today because it was so cold last night, and they do eat more as the temperature goes down. But they were quite happy this morning. Oh, bit of a mole hole, or a gopher hole, or a badger hole, or something. So, just gonna wait here. So yeah, like I said, if you look down here, there's a lot of slough grass. It doesn't have a lot of nutrition, but it is still very palatable. I can get into neutral here. Still very palatable, and they will make their way through it. They start with the nicest stuff and work their way back. That's why they went to the yard end, and they basically started grazing back towards the ravine. So they're cleaning up the paddocks and working their way back to the ravine. And they are starting to come down here. I noticed there was more calves coming down here to the corner where the gate is, picking through it. So, but the reason I'm doing these bales is just so that they get their nutrient levels as well as their biomass. That's my excuse. Plus I can put my eyes on them. I know everybody's okay. Nobody's lame. No stragglers. I don't see anybody that's late. I fixed that gate so they didn't beggar it up this time. No, everybody looks good. So like I said, there's 85 head of cows out here. There's 80 cow-calf pairs. So yeah, we had a few that did not calve last year. They get a second chance, so they ran back to the bull. And there's a few in here that this is their last time to the bull. So, take a run back through them. Try not to. Really? What? Deal with John Deere. Yeah, I think maybe the clutch needs adjusted. What would make you think that paper, Doug? I don't know. But I tell you the one thing is, I am so glad I put the extra work in this year and put up those Alcatraz fences, because I have had zero worry about calves getting out and getting picked off by the big puppies. So, yeah. Gonna just check, just see everybody's okay. Bring it back. Ha 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 ha. Some of you will know what this means. So, like I said, this way I can keep an eye on everybody at this time of year. And we got a calf that it's got pneumonia. So it's very kind of frothy at the mouth, very labored breathing. I'd noticed a couple of days it was kind of straggling at the back, but it was always coming down to feed. Well, now it's kind of looks like it's waning. So got the pump gun. I'm gonna go and dart it. Hope for the best. The crappy part is because as soon as I saw the tag number, I remembered it's one of the calves that was sick when it was young. So it's never been the strongest, but it's a steer, of course, and we'll give it a go. We'll give it a chance. Oh my gosh, I hate these blinking bumps. So yeah, like I said, we'll go and give it a shot and see if we can keep it healthy enough until we get them into the yard and weaned, and then we can maybe grab it and either get it down to the vets and get it checked, or just give it some more. So I'm giving it some LA. Because like I said, it's one of those where I just want to try and get it back on track long enough so we can get them up to the yard and dealt with. Bring it back. Yeah, he's pretty tired. Walk from all the way over there. He's still walking pretty good. Just his breathing's pretty bad. Well, we'll check on him tomorrow, and if he's any worse, we'll try and get him loaded up into the trailer for a wee fella. Yeah. Anyway. Hey, boo. Feeding. Boy, it's windy. Okay. Hey, creatures. Hey, Maggie. So, number one is bedded and ready. So I'll unwrap that bale when we go to move them, close it up, take that gate, close off the two calving pens, and then we'll let them in the back door, and then that'll then be in here. It's always the same. You get close to supper, babies are hollering at mum because mums have either finished grazing down the ravine, headed back to the pastures, and babies are on the wrong side. So fun and games. Okay, I'm gonna sign off. Yeah, because right now the poop spreading's done. The poop spreader's not even here, it's gone. And there's not much I can do after dark, so I'm watching Yellowstone, getting caught up to where the boss lady's at on season 5. So I get the evenings off to rest and get ready for the big wrap up of the year. So as you can see, panels, gates, panels over there, the woods all shuttered along the posts there. So that is tomorrow. So maybe when you're watching this, we'll already be doing it. Liam's coming out. I just replaced the great big tent panel right there in the back corner of the big sorting corral. So getting that ready for the big sort, which will happen in the next week or two. Whenever the boss lady, because she likes to help doing that. Yeah, like I just said, we got this pen ready. Not in a big rush for this, but I'll probably get it done here right away because I just want to get all the critters into the little spots. There's one of the last newborns. That's Squiggle's little guy. So boy, they like those roadside grass bales. So yeah, like I said, put a whole bunch of panels along the feed rail here to stop the little babbies jumping out through. And so yeah, we're gonna get set up tomorrow and run everybody through, and then shut down the Golden Girls pen, and they'll be nice and snug as bugs in that middle pen out of the wind, and they'll have a heated water trough and bedded and all that good stuff. So they'll be there till New Year, and then we'll wean the calves and ship all but 2 of the cows, because one of the cows is a family cow and one of the cows is still nursing a late summer calf, like just a little bit older than this one. So thanks for watching, everybody, and like I said earlier in the video, there's no shame in going just to get your head cleared. Like I said, I'm going back. I'll be going every 2 weeks, hopefully, for the foreseeable future, just to get back on track. It's been a long year. It's been a long 3 years getting fences caught up and get all this to where we want it to be. So thanks for watching, and I sure do appreciate you all for coming and joining us in the Shire, and I really do appreciate the comments. So I'll see you down there, and hopefully to see you next week. So yeah, I bet you're glad it's not a poop spread video. So ta-ta-bye, everybody. Here's that little squeaks. There he is. Thought I saw them. They're starting to quieten down. Like I said, when the mummies and the babies are heading back to the pastures and they get on the wrong side of each paddock fence, they start yelling at each other. I don't hear anybody. And then you get one. And we'll keep you updated on that cabin pneumonia. Okay, I'm away now.